What's up guys, I'm Silver, and today I'm going to be walking you through how to beat all of the levels in the new Game of Summer challenges. I thought these challenges were super fun. I wish that Call of Duty had more of these more often, but there were some of them that were actually pretty difficult to get through. The sniper one took me quite a while to actually figure out, since you have to hit 2 targets at once multiple times so that you can make it through in time. Since it took a good amount of time to get a gold medal in some of these challenges, I figured I would show you guys a few tips that I found useful in order to get these challenges done. Once you get a gold medal in each of these challenges, you'll get 3 separate weapon blueprints that are actually all really sick. Usually blueprints have a bunch of attachments on them that nobody really uses, but with this event, if you get gold medals on each of these, you unlock a Grau with pretty much the go-to attachments for the game. So if you haven't been able to unlock it because maybe you don't have the multiplayer part of the game yet, this is going to be perfect for you. You also get a blueprint for the Mark II carbine and the Deagle. I hope that Cold War weapon skins are similar to these. I like these blueprints a lot because they're way different than a lot of the other ones. They've got super bright colors and then some kind of like off-white looking tape to make them stand out. Starting out with the parkour challenge, what you're going to do for this one is run around the course without touching the ground. For every second that you're on the ground, it takes a second away from your final time. It'll take you a couple of times of running through this to get used to it, but once you get it down, it's pretty easy. I have a couple tips for this one. The first one is going to be after you jump off the truck at the very beginning, rather than jumping to the blue boxes on the left, jump to the farthest right side of the roof that you can. If you do this properly, you can jump straight to the hay bales and cut a little bit of time off. And then once you get back outside to the roof and jump to the blue truck, you can actually slide cancel here so that it cuts a little bit of time down. And then when you jump on this blue box, for whatever reason, you have to be sprinting to get up this wall. So sometimes you have to take a step back and then start sprinting before it'll let you up. The next one that we're going to look at is the gun course. With the gun course, the objective is to run through the course and shoot all 40 targets. There's enemy targets and then there's also friendly targets. Every time you hit a friendly target, it adds 5 seconds to your end time. If you manage to hit 100% of your shots, you can also reduce 5 seconds from your time at the end. I found it useful to use the Holger and the Renetti. The Holger has super fast ADS times, and you can switch it from automatic to single shot so that you're not wasting any bullets. I'm going to run through this whole course with you real quick and just show you how many targets are in each room. So this first area is going to have 5 targets. One that you sometimes miss is either all the way to the right or the guy right above the tires next to the stairs. The next area has 6 targets. The first one pops up right in front of you, and the last 5 are downrange. As soon as you finish those, you'll run up these stairs and this single target pops up. Then you'll head into this room and there's 4 more targets. Followed up by another 4 once you go into the next room. Leading outside where there's going to be 3 more targets, and then as soon as you get halfway down the stairs, the next set of targets pops up and you'll be able to see one right off the bat. That leaves 4 more targets in this area to take care of. And then that leads you into this next room that has 5 more. I thought it was easier in this room to start on the targets on the left, and then you can kind of walk forward slowly and take care of the other ones. Whereas if you start on the right, sometimes you wind up having to backtrack as you go through this room. Outside, there's 3 more targets that pop up. And then once you get through those, this next area has one that I wound up missing a couple of times. And it's on the far left above the car. That's pretty much it. This one's super easy. It just comes down to some repetition so that you learn the course a little bit better. And then also making sure that you're hitting your shots and not wasting your bullets so that you don't have to waste time reloading halfway through the course. Alright, moving on to the Marksman challenge. This one was definitely the hardest one. I'm going to slow this video down to about 50% so that I can walk you through each target that you have to shoot at in order to be able to get a gold medal. A lot of this challenge relies on not having to reload at all. So the more times you can hit multiple targets with one shot, the better off you'll be. You'll want to start out by lining up on this little line in this ray of sun. This angle seems to work the best to be able to line up multiple targets with one shot. The first wave was the easiest. You're going to start out with the target that's above the door, and then immediately after that, aim over the one that's inside of this window and wait for the second target to line up. Then flick to the right and hit the blue target. Flick all the way to the left and hit the other red target that's by itself. And then aim at the stationary target and wait for the second one to line up with it. If you do all of these in order throughout the challenges, they should line up in time so that you're not sitting there waiting for 4 or 5 seconds each time. The second wave, you're going to pre-aim this first window on the far left. As soon as the challenge starts, you can shoot and you'll hit 2 targets. Then aim all the way to the far right window and wait for these 2 to line up. Right after that, you're going to aim just left of center, and these 2 targets will move in front of each other for just a second. Then you can hit these other 2 higher up in the building and finish off with this last moving target in the middle. For the third wave, you start aiming at this stationary target and wait for the moving one to line up with it. And then right after, these other 2 in the middle of the course will line up with each other so you can hit them both. And then you're going to aim at this window on the left and wait for these 2 to line up. And then right after that, aim up just to the right and wait for these 2 targets to line up. As soon as you hit that shot, just finish off the rest of the targets. I found the fourth wave to be the trickiest, but also the most fun if you can hit all of the shots properly. For the first shot, you're going to line up your reticle just above the hood of this van. Wait for the moving target to pass through the first time and come back and hit all 3 of these targets with the same shot. Move directly up to the top and hit the moving blue one and red one, and then make sure you line up and wait for these 3 targets to cross the same spot at the same time. Finish off the last target, and if you manage to pull off wave 4 with these shots, you should have no problem hitting gold. The next one we're going to look at is Price's Alley. This one was by far the easiest one. I think I got it done first try. All that you really need to focus on is not shooting the friendly targets and hitting headshots. Headshots give you more XP and make it easier to get the challenge done. And then if you manage to hit a bunch of the enemy targets one after another, then you get a score multiplier that makes it even easier to get gold. The very last challenge is shooting range. I would recommend using the AK and setting the fire to single shot, and the X16 pistol with the red dot sight. This one mostly just comes down to repetition and getting to know where all the targets are. The way that I did this challenge was stepping out front and moving slightly to the left so that you can see down the left lane, and then working your way around. I usually start out with the AK, and then as you actually start moving through the course, switch to the pistol so that you can move a little bit quicker. And when you get to the other end, switch back to the AK. You should be able to get through the whole course without having to reload at all. Switching weapons is a lot faster than having to reload a clip. And that's going to wrap up the video. Let me know if you found this helpful by dropping a like on the video. And if you have any questions, ask me in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. I'm Silver, and I'll see you in the next one.